My name's Yvonne, one of the hygienists at the practice, so welcome. So you've been and had your first checkup with the dentist. So any bleedings from the gums, any problems at all?
I get it around this front tooth here and this one here and around the back at the left.
And your general home care, is that a manual brush or is that an electric toothbrush? Electric toothbrush. Okay. And in between your teeth, do you use any floss, tape or linen brushes?
Some easy picks and floss.
Okay, when you came and had your checkup done, what the dentist does is he talks to us with numbers. So first of all, they're actually looking at your teeth. They're checking to see if there's decay there. But we also were looking at the gum health, and the gum health is really what we're looking at today. The numbers that I've been given are 2s and 3s. So when we have a 3, what that means is we really want your gum to be snug and tight around the neck of the tooth. A 3 means we've actually got evidence where the gum has started to let go. Now that space there is what we call a pocket, and that's a really warm, cosy little place where the bacteria can trap. The whole idea of our toothbrushing is that we should be brushing all the sides of the teeth. And most of us only brush our teeth, but we never actually clean through in between. There's only 3 things that hang on to your tooth. One is the gum. That is the seal, little tiny elastic bands, the ligaments, and then there's the jawbone. So once this gum opens up and the bacteria get trapped, this all now becomes at risk. And that is why it's so important that when you're actually in the tooth, in the bathroom, that we actually get you cleaning really efficiently, so you're cleaning those surfaces, but that we've also got the right products for actually cleaning through in between. They took some x-rays when you came for your checkup, so we always look at your x-rays. So these are routine x-rays that are always taken, and it gives the dentist a good idea of what's happening in the mouth just as a general. They're looking at the fillings, they're looking to check if there's any decay happening underneath. And when you look down into the mouth, you actually see teeth just together. You never actually see in between the teeth, and that's important that we actually look at that area for decay. As far as I'm concerned, I'm checking all this spongy bit that we see at the bottom here that actually is holding on. So this is the bone support. That's the little peg that you bit on. And I liken teeth to be like apples, so they're quite bulbous in their makeup. And we need to make sure that we're cleaning through those actual spaces. X-rays only take the image of the hard tissue, so you've actually got your gums there, but obviously we can't see them. What I'm looking for is the level of the bone, and I want the level of the bone just below the apple. That's what I take as being a pretty good level there. I'm also looking to see if there's any old deposit that's got trapped underneath the gum. There's a little wispy bit just on the side of that tooth there. So that tells me the bacteria's got trapped underneath the gum, they're actually trapped onto the side of the tooth, and that is actually holding your gum away. We want to be getting that off to get your gum nice and snug. And that really is what it's all about. Okay? Look at the health of gums. What we look at is the little tiny point of gum that runs up in between the teeth. It should be a very definite point that fills the spaces in between the teeth. We can see that we've got all those little points. What I'm looking at then is the colour of the gum. So whatever the pinky tone is down there, I want exactly the same pink at the top there. Let's, for example, say this one is just that little bit rounded, it's just a little bit squidgy and there's some redness on it. So that's indicative there's a little bit of inflammation and that we're just missing that corner there. What we use is this little ruler, it's got marker lines on it and a ball on the end so that we can't hurt. So what we do is we run it along the gum line, and that tells us whether or not the gum is nice and firm against the tooth surface or whether or not it's starting to get that loose bagginess that we were talking about. If I take my little ruler and pop it underneath the gum, sometimes you can actually hook onto, you can feel that there, that's a little bit of build up underneath the gum. Now that was so fine that that wouldn't have shown up on the x-ray, but if you look at the coloration of the gum, we can actually see pinky, 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 and there's the slight red. So that tells me you're not quite getting the toothbrush down into that gum line there, not hooking onto it there. And that is where we just need to get that. So because we proved on the x-rays that there's no bone damage, we know this is all just on the surface. So by just cleaning off that build-up and then getting you just to get your toothbrushes that little bit more down into these corners, we'll actually be able to get your gum health into a nice condition.